What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are hiking in the Sawtooth Mountains, and I'm actually going to be testing out two products on this trip. The Zenbivy against the Lost Ranger, which has been a highly commented request. And I got my buddy Eric Hansen here with me, who's also going to be...
I'm going to be with you.
He's going to be with me.
I got some new products as well. The Durston X Mid. I've got products I don't want to reveal what I've got right off the bat.
Where'd you get that product though? From like some PR company? Or?
Oh no, that one.
So you got the product from me. So
yeah, and where are you getting your Zenbivy?
Let's not talk about that. Anyway, we'll test these out over the next few nights and we'll have some thoughts. Is it a Karen or Karen? What is it?
It's a Cairn.
Karen. He ruined it for everybody, folks.
No, there's no EN. It's not Karen.
Can we just hike on, please? I'm a little perturbed. Check out where I'm at. This is where I'm camping tonight, so man, it's such a great place. But I'm actually pretty nervous about something. I'm also going to be summiting my first peak, and I'm going to be very real with you. I'm actually extremely nervous about it. I don't do very good going up. My right knee isn't the greatest. I get really winded in higher elevation, and I have absolute terrible balance, as was demonstrated trying to cross a log just to get to this camp. And I have very high anxiety about it. It's not like a 14er, so for you 14ers, this is like a starter peak. It's right at about 11,000 feet, just under actually. But it's a pretty gnarly climb. And anyway, that's a whole other thing. But you're here for the gear. So let's talk about it.
Look at Eric, can't even get out of his tent.
What are you talking about? I'm halfway out. See, I'm out. Care to step into my bedroom here? There's plenty of room.
Is that an invitation?
Yeah. Although you might want to give it a minute to clear out in here.
Okay.
Color profiles.
Two to sleep setup. What do we got? How does this work?
Okay, so this is the Zenbivy light bed. This is the 10-degree version and the extra wide and extra long. So it's huge.
And it barely fits inside of this X Mid.
It barely does. But honestly, it's
like you're bursting out the seams.
So this is an interesting setup. It is a quilt, but you can get this bottom attachment that then covers.
Is that separate or is that?
It's separate, but you basically buy them in tandem. If you only wanted the quilt, you can get just the quilt. Although the magic of the whole setup.
Yeah, right. The whole point is to get the whole thing.
To get everything. Yeah. So instead of zippers, there's these little clasps that you can do or undo based on how cold you think it might be. I was expecting it to be in the 20s, so I did it all the way up, and I was so warm. So I do really like that, and then you can have, if you see down here, so you've got all these different points that you can clip or unclip.
And ventilate if you need.
And ventilate if you need, including the foot box, and then the Zenbivy bag itself, or the quilt itself. Let's say I undo this. These also clasp together.
Oh my God.
So you can just have it be more of like a flat quilt if you want. If it's gonna be pretty warm, you could just drape it over yourself. You can have it totally unhooked.
Okay, so
there's just a lot.
The biggest difference I'm seeing between this one and the Lost Ranger is that this is just a one top system. You're not in a bag in a bed.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a huge win for me.
Totally.
Already,
you have so much more space to move around. I mean, look at just the sheer amount of room that you can move around. It feels like you're in a bed at home.
And look at the size of the pillow barn on this one.
This is my favorite part. Being able to actually like tuck in and have it, your pillow's not going anywhere. You can kind of cozy on up and get that like mummy feel if you want, the coziness of the mummy feel. But you can also, I kept getting warm, so then I just would drop it, get my head on top of it to let my head ventilate some of that heat. But your pillow's not going anywhere. You just can lay like on your full stomach with tons of space, which I sleep like that all the time. My biggest downfall of the whole system, I think, is just its bulkiness. But this is the 25 wide and 77 long. So I think if I did it again, I'd get the 20 by 72.
What's the other temperature
and then
level?
So there's a 10 and then there's a 25 degree. I think it's 20 or 25 degree version. So I was like, I want the extra warmth. But I think I would stick with the 10 degree, but I would just get not needing 25 by 77. It is luxurious.
Well, I slept in my Lost Ranger again, and I slept fine, but my biggest fear was rolling over to the other side. Not because it's difficult to roll over, but because
The zipper system.
the zipper system just sucks so bad on that thing. So,
But I think you would really like this because there's no zippers to get lost in. You can just unclasp things as it feels
okay.
warm or not warm.
The plan is I'm going to use that tonight.
I was christening it all night long.
Thank you.
For you.
I can still smell that.
I'm going to walk away over here.
Good morning. Day 2. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful night's sleep. So plans have changed yet again. So when the cameras were off, Eric and I did more like tech recon, looking at maps and thinking this through, and even going down a little bit to kind of see what we could see. And Eric's a former guide for 3 years, knows this stuff, has done this kind of stuff before, way more than I have. I've never summited any type of a peak before. And his assessment was the likelihood of actually doing this safely is 20%. So what we're going to do now is actually head to a different lake today. We're going to hike out of here, head to a different lake, Sawtooth Lake. We're going to camp there for tonight, and then we're going to try to potentially summit Alpine Peak. So that way we'll be in position on an actual trail, a safe trail, an actual route, and we won't have to worry about like any issues getting stuck somewhere and just like kind of ruining our whole day and wasting it on that and not filming things and doing things that we probably really should be getting done out here. So, but anyway, check this out. Look at that. Not bad.
We went the wrong direction. We went way off. Let me backtrack.
What?
We missed something. Look, we were supposed to turn left back here.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Dan.
that's all your fault.
Wait, who was guiding this trip?
There was good job.
Oh, yeah. You didn't tell me that was guiding, though. You just were counting on me.
Well,
You're right. We did go the wrong way.
yeah.
Hey,
not
can
fun.
you... So, we're doing great
Yes,
here. But you know what? I did just want to look at this. This boulder is a really unique formation out of the Pleistocene era. Old rock.
Was that a Shrek reference? That's a nice boulder.
That's a nice boulder. But anyway, now that I've shown you,
You guys just wanted to see this view, right?
Thank you.
We can head back this way.
Yeah. What do you think about Eric's navigational skills so far, Dan?
Did you guide for like
3 years.
or 3 minutes?
Hey, it's been 7 years. I'm a little rusty.
Let's go. Come on, Eric. I got you.
Well, after Eric finally learned how to be a guide again, we were on our way to the next campsite. It was a pretty difficult hike, but the destination made it all worth it. We were camped right along the side of the beautiful crystal clear Sawtooth Lake with Alpine Peak towering over us from behind. We got some more filming done and we're winding down for the evening and some dinner and enjoying each other's company. It was a great end to a long day, but the prospect of the next day's summit hike was certainly on my mind.
All right, I am all tucked in. Got the Zenbivy trying out here, but I do want to say I got serious anxiety about tomorrow, summiting this peak. I know that seems silly to probably tons of you because this is like nothing to you, but I'm not confident in myself, and I don't want to fail, and I don't want to be the one that causes people to turn back. You all may think that I'm like this mega backpacker, and I backpack all over the country, and because of that, I should be this 14 peaker, this guy that summits all these amazing places, and that's not me. It's never been me. I'm the average dude, and I've always been the average dude, and I think that's who I like to appeal to. So this is legitimately stretching me. I have very terrible balance. I'm not athletic. I'm not the most in shape person in the world, and I don't have confidence in myself, but I got some awesome pep talk by some great people tonight, and I do feel better about it. So I'm gonna try to get some sleep, and we're gonna eat some breakfast in the morning, and we're gonna hopefully summit this thing. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you about the Zenbivy too. So, good night.
Hey, Dan. How'd you sleep last night?
Okay, so obviously it's the first time I've ever slept on this, right? So Zenbivy 100% for the win. I'm not gonna lie. So Lost Ranger is like, I feel like that's like the attempt to have like an all season, 3-in-1 system, which is, I guess, fine if you're into that sort of thing. But this is a legit attempt to make it like a bed at home. This pillow thing I wasn't sure about, but when you put the pillow in here, okay, I like to sleep with like my arm under a pillow like this, and my hand always sticks out. And in anything else, I have to like wear a glove or like wear a puffy jacket for my arm just to keep my arm warm. I could totally do that underneath this. So that was like, oh my gosh, that made my sleep so much better. The only thing that I didn't like, and again, this is the first time I've used it, you Zenbivy users, you guys are probably gonna be like, oh, Dan, there's much better ways it's easier than you think, are these little clasps here. So in order to get these off, getting it off was easy, but getting it back on, I had to turn on a light to do that. So it wasn't like I could just reach and find a zipper and just sort of do it. So I don't know why they have clasps. I just feel like a zipper system would have been a lot more intuitive. But if that's my only gripe, dude, this thing was super good. It was...
Were you toasty?
Yeah, it's a 10-degree system. It got down to, 36, I think you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
More than enough.
Man. So I think what we'll do is we'll pull this out. We'll show you all the features of it. And then you at home can kind of make your own assessment of what you think. But, dude, if you want good sleep, this may have been like... This was like a quilt, but like the comfort of the upper part was like the best. That's what I like. This part was the best. All right, so I pulled it out of my tent to kind of just show you because it's a lot easier to show you this outside of the tent. So everything's down. Eric says it's 800 fill down. We'll put the stats on screen so you can see it for sure. I'm just like going to like, we're just going off like what we sort of remember the stats to be. Okay, so essentially, it's like, this is like a quilt. So this is just essentially a blanket that goes over the top of you. And what it's done though is that it's got this like, it connects underneath the mattress just on these corners. And it looks like it's kind of stretchy here, so it will fit, I guess, different size pads. And then sort of comes around the side and then attaches with these sort of mitten hooks, button hooks or whatever. Even this little tiny sweat bee likes it. Look at it. He likes it. Must like the color. But then over here, it's got like this sort of, I don't know, like wind block. I'm not sure what this is. And then it just sort of clasps a little bit higher here so you can kind of tuck it up on you throughout the night. But, zippers would have, in my mind, been a lot more intuitive, a lot easier, because I had to turn on a light to get these to attach back up in the middle of the night. Looks easy like this, but when you're searching for this little yellow thing in a dark tent, it's not very easy. But then it's got like sort of a sheet here. This didn't feel nearly as, it's slick, but it didn't feel as slick as the Lost Ranger. And then it's got a much bigger pillow barn.
That's the biggest pillow barn I've ever seen.
This is the biggest pillow barn I've ever seen. And it's insulated. From what Eric showed me is you could put your head in here and it sort of becomes the hood like a sleeping bag would have. But what I did, because it was actually warm enough to not have my head in it, is I just actually wore this and I put this over my head. This is the Ultravitals Ventus hoodie. And then I put my pillow in here, and I was able to just like put my whole arm under here. I could like, you know, I didn't have to worry about my arm being cold, my hands being cold, anything like that. Or I didn't have to worry about wearing a glove or, you know, having to wear a puffy jacket or something to keep my arms warm, because I'm not a type of person that likes to be completely cocooned inside of my bag. That's essentially what this is. And this felt like a quilt to me. So this was no different than a quilt, like a regular standard, like even my Outdoor Vitals quilt. But the game changer was certainly this up here. This is where I felt like, wow, I don't have to like be constricted in a jacket or wear gloves or just stuff that you're not used to from being at home. This made a huge difference for me. And then at the bottom here, it tightens up. So it's got like a draw cord here. So you can open this or close it. It looks like it's got little, you know, tabs here or whatever, in order to, you know, like if you want to ventilate your foot box or whatever, if you're getting too hot. And so I don't know that I had this done really well. So there were a couple times where my feet got a little cold, but I think that's because it was the first time I used it, and I just sort of left the adjustments that Eric had out. It was kind of late. I was just like, yeah, let me just throw this in there. We'll try it. And versus, you want versus? Okay. If I did Big Agnes, Lost Ranger versus this, 100%, I'm buying this. All right. So yeah, this is a great setup for sure. Lost Ranger, it's great for the 3-in-1 system if you don't own anything at all. But if you want the actual feeling like you're sleeping in your bed at home, this is as close as I have had yet. So I think they could make some minor tweaks, in my opinion. Again, it's my first time using it, but dude, this was a win. Total win for sure. I think it's like $400 for the 10-degree version. We'll put the stats on the screen, like I said, for all the weights and everything too, so you know what that is. But yeah, this thing's awesome.
All right, man.
Yep, this is it. All packed up, all geared up. I've been told what to bring. So if this is the last thing you ever hear from me, just know that I was prepared by Eric Hansen. So,
You're gonna do great, folks. I have
So it's not
45% confidence
It's
in
not that directly, but it's over that peak, correct?
yes, it is. What am I getting myself into? Okay, just hit this boulder field. Plan is to come up here, hit this saddle, and then just walk that ridge. Hopefully there's a peak on the other side. That would be nice. Came up the ridgeline, came up to the ridgeline, and that's the peak right there. Emmett, show it when we came up. You gotta see this. And it was literally straight up that. I don't know how that happened. So now we gotta hug this ridgeline to there, and I'm freaking out, man. I'm gonna be real.
Gentlemen, we did it, baby.
Dan? I get a hug.
I'm literally sitting on, this is legit the summit right here, this rock. And I owe it to Eric and the crew that's with me. They all know who they are. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. And yes, Zenbivy, in my mind, beats the Lone Ranger.
That's you right now.
May as well be the Lone Ranger, the Lost Ranger. So thanks you guys for watching this video. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. And we will see you on the next one. We hiked that.